Richard Dean was a single man. Never married, never any kids, never really much of a girlfriend. And yet, he wrote some of the best children's books I read when I was a kid. One day, I was looking around in the library. I found a book, but it wasn't a normal book, you see. It was signed by Dean, and there was only one copy of it. Unlike the other hundreds of books he made, there was only one. And it was very old and ruffled looking. Definitely not something you'd find normally looking through the library, or hell, even want to get. Hopefully this book was as good as the rest. The title was smeared. I could make out some letters. Either way, I could not read the title, and when I turned to the first page, there was no title. It was just a basic, simple, actually written book. This was no text. This was all completely written in red ink. Now, I thought they didn't do this anymore, but I guess maybe this was a hidden collection or something. Possibly even something that Dean wrote himself and left in the library as a token of his appreciation to his readers. When I asked the librarian where the book came from, she had no clue. There wasn't even a library card. But this is before they had the cards, so I'm not quite sure how this book managed to exempt the rest of them, but I'm guessing it was just a minor mistake. I was eventually on my way back home, and I shut the door, turned on the nightlight, and started reading the book. It was kind of interesting. It wasn't really a story, rather just a biography about Dean. It wasn't the longest book in the world, a couple hundred pages here and there, but the question was, why was it written in pen? Apparently, it detailed events that have happened in Dean's life. It had everything from the first book he read to his childhood years, which weren't exactly the best to say the least. The most interesting thing about this book wasn't the story, rather the fact that the first page didn't have the title, but instead it had a thumbprint in red ink. Before I knew it, I noticed something real odd. I looked at the page number and it said 27. Now this obviously was not page 7, so I looked and every single page was a different number. Hell, sometimes the pages didn't even have a number on them. Maybe Dean was just writing numbers on there to confuse the reader. A few hours later, I managed to get through more of the book. I also noticed something quite odd. The beginning of the book was neat. It detailed mainly all the big events of Dean's life. However, when you kept reading on, the story just grew dark. If he wrote this biography himself, then I have to say, did he have to put in explicit details about how his mother was bashed in the head by his dad, and then how he shaved her head and cut her open right in front of him? I didn't know what to think about this. He also wrote about other things that didn't make any sense. Following children, details about the children themselves. He apparently was following around adults. This doesn't make any sense. There was explicit details like gender, street address, birth, even blood type. Eventually I found out the book started to just be page after page of details about people, some ranging for 2 or 3 or more pages. Dean couldn't have written this, but I know his handwriting. I've lived by it. I've seen it every single time I've opened his books. I know this is his handwriting. So why did he write this? Another half an hour into the book and I've realized something. Each person's page that ended had a number at the bottom and a print next to it. Not like a name, but of a finger. It was very small and I didn't notice it. I thought it was just a book design. Was it Dean's? If so, why did he waste time printing his thumb on each one of the pages? Maybe that's their print. Maybe they're just fans and he surprised them, and after all, I am the co-founder of the fan club. I think I know what I'm talking about. About 10 minutes later, I noticed something odd. One of the names, Teddy Burchell. He's one of my friends. Not real friends, but friends on the fan club website. And of course, there was a print of the thumb at the bottom right of the page. I didn't understand this, but I decided to email my friend. Okay, I was reading for a few more minutes, and I saw something that sort of creeped me out. On page 493, I saw me. Not just my name, but everything. I saw my blood type, my street address, my middle name. I mean, it's cool and all that I'm in the book, but how the hell does he know my mother's maiden name? This is starting to creep me out. Oh, I just got an email. Okay, about 2 minutes ago, I got a message from him. Well, all I said was, "Hi, do you have a minute?" And I got a response. "Are you enjoying the book?" How did he know about the book? I don't like this at all. And I'm thinking this book has a whole lot more meaning to it than I originally thought. I've bookmarked the pages with my friend and I've gone into locking all the doors in my house. I'm real creeped out by that email, but I can't help it. And I just want to go to bed, but I'm almost done with the book, so I'm going to finish it first. I got another email. It said to go to page 493 and to look very close. There was a number written underneath my name. It said 531. That's today. I think I'm starting to hear noises. I don't know what it is, but I feel that this book holds a great evil. I'm almost done with it. I'm just gonna finish the rest of this and maybe go to bed or go for a drive. Either way, I'm gonna get away from this fucking book. Oh my god. I just realized something. I looked up one of the names in the book, and I found out that the person written in the book is dead. They were murdered by an unknown killer. And even worse, I looked up the number, and the date was the same date that they died. I've linked this all together, and I'm very scared. I still have no idea what the number at the bottom means. I got a feeling I don't want to find out. I only have a few more pages. I'm gonna finish this book, and then I'm gonna burn it. I just got another email. And now, I'm horrified. Whoever it was asked me if I was finished with the book. They were very concerned about me finishing the book. I only have 3 pages left. I hear noises throughout the house. I have no idea what's going on, but I keep on getting emails telling me to finish the book. Just finish the book. How is the book? I finished the book. I don't know what kind of sick fuck writes this stuff, but I decided I'm gonna take the book and I'm gonna drive it up to the police station and give it to the cops. I'm scared beyond belief, and it thinks someone's in my house. I don't know for sure, but I could swear that I heard something moving behind me earlier. What was that sound? Who's there? I said who's there, damn it! Show yourself! Oh! was in a dark room. I noticed I was upside down, hanging from a chain. Suddenly I saw a figure emerge from the corner of the room. Oh my God. No. No, it can't be. Why? Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? He just smiled at me with a sick look. He came up to me and he pulled out a blade. He walked up to me with what seemed to be a pail as he put it below me. It looked like it could hold water maybe, I have no idea. But why was the top cut open? Oh God. The man walked closer to me. No, no, please, 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 don't do this. Don't do this, please. No, don't do it. The man grabbed my head and ran the knife through my throat. I was gasping for air as my mouth filled up with blood, and I could see a stream of blood running down my face, falling into the container. A few seconds later, he pulled the container back, setting it on the table. I watched as he opened up the book to the page about me. He took out a pen, and he dipped it in the blood, and he wrote on the page, in my blood, he wrote down 8.23. Now I'm not a genius, but I do keep time, and it took me 8 hours to read that book. That damn book that caused this entire massacre. And as I gargle my last breath, I hear the man shut the book as he turns to me and smiles. I then started to realize where exactly I was. This was my basement. This was my home. He had been in here the entire time. He had plotted this entire thing. He used the book as bait, and I was his prey. As my vision fades, and my lungs fill up with blood, I remember the last page. It said, an original tale to the many who die for the success of the few. I present to you the fans who help make this dream come true. Now that the clock has been chimed, it is time for me to get you. And on the back, the title that was smeared out as I choked on the blood coming out of my throat.